Alright guys, we need to talk about what just came out of Marc Marquez's mouth. And let me tell you, Marc has just dropped an absolute atomic bomb on the paddock by declaring that from next year, Alex Marquez is no longer his brother. Wait, what? Relax. They aren't feuding over the TV remote at home. This is business. This is about glory. Marc has openly stated that Alex is his primary rival for the 2026 MotoGP World title. Think about that for a second. A 9-time world champion having equaled Valentino Rossi's record in 2025 is now aiming for title number 10 by pointing his crosshairs directly at his own flesh and blood. Alex Marquez is no longer the lucky younger brother. He is the 2025 world runner-up. And Marc knows it. Stick with me on this one because we are going to dissect why this rivalry is set to become the most explosive in the history of MotoGP. Okay, let's look at the data. The news is official. Marc Marquez will no longer refer to Alex as his brother on the track. He will call him Alex Marquez, world runner-up. Why is Marc doing this? Because in the 2025 season that just passed, Alex went absolutely mental, guys. He finished second in the final standings, only 78 points behind Marc. He won in Jerez, Catalunya, and Sepang. And remember, Alex did all that on a GP24 satellite bike with the Gresini team. Now, here's the real bombshell. For the 2026 season, Alex Marquez has been promoted to receive the latest factory spec machinery, the GP26, the same machinery as Marc. Marc at the Ducati Lenovo factory team, Alex at Gresini, but with full factory support. Before we jump in further, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because the 2026 season is going to be insane. Let's talk tactics. Why does Marc look so threatened, even though he's just become world champion? Firstly, technical parity. Up until now, Marc has always had a technical or experiential advantage. But in 2026, they will both be sitting on identical bikes, the GP26. There's no longer the "my bike is a year older" excuse. It's man against man. Secondly, mentality. Marc is a killer on the track. We know that. But Alex has Marc's data. They live in the same house, train together, and know every single one of each other's late-breaking secrets. Marc said, Alex is capable of leading any team. This is an admission that Alex has reached the same level of maturity as other elite riders. Thirdly, the Bezzecchi factor. Don't forget, Marc closed the 2025 season with a serious shoulder injury after an incident with Marco Bezzecchi at Mandalika. He had to have surgery. He missed the last 4 rounds. Meanwhile, Alex, he's fit, he's increasingly confident, and he has the momentum. Marc is strategically building a mental wall. By saying, he's not my brother, Marc is shedding the emotional baggage in case he ever needs to pull off an aggressive block pass or nudge Alex wide at the final corner. Now, let's look at the standings. Ducati is on top of the world, but they have a massive problem. Internal war. On one side, you have Pecco Bagnaia wanting to reclaim his throne, and on the other, you have the Marquez duo ready to explode. If Marc and Alex are at each other's throats, who profits? Jorge Martin at Aprilia or Pedro Acosta at KTM. They'll be laughing as they watch the two brothers cannibalize each other's points. But for Marc, this is about legacy. He has already equaled Rossi with 9 titles. A 10th title in 2026 would make him the undisputed GOAT, and he has openly admitted that his biggest hurdle is no longer Pecco, no longer Martin, but Alex. It's a family feud on 350 kilometers per H rockets, guys. Final verdict? Marc Marquez is playing God-level mind games. He is showing Alex the ultimate respect by calling him a rival, but at the same time, he's warning the entire world that he will show no mercy, even to his own brother. This is why we love MotoGP, right? Drama, speed, and betrayal at the finish line. Personally, I think 2026 will be Marc's toughest season yet because beating a stranger is one thing, but beating someone who knows every single inch of your riding style, that's a different level entirely. What do you think? Can Alex Marquez really beat his big brother on the GP26? Or will Marc remain the alpha of the Marquez family? Comment below. I want to hear your sharpest opinions. Alright guys, let's go deep. Let's pick up the thread from that brotherhood versus rivalry drama, because it turns out while Marc and Alex are busy declaring war, there's one person in the corner of the garage quietly stealing all their secrets. Remember the previous script about Marc saying Alex isn't his brother anymore? Well, while these two dragons are busy monitoring each other, a rookie just walked into their den and did the smartest thing possible. He is downloading their brains. Fermin Aldeguer, the new kid on the Ducati block, has just dropped a statement that's caused a massive stir. He said his test results were beyond expectations. Way above, guys. And he openly admitted he could be that fast because he schooled himself directly from Marc and Alex Marquez's data. Stick with me on this one because we're going to dissect how Fermin is using this sibling rivalry to skip the MotoGP learning curve that's usually lethal for rookies. Let's look at the data. Aldeguer has just hopped on the Desmos C2C, and instead of being confused about settings, he went straight for the laptop. Right there is the telemetry of Marc, the king of late braking, and Alex, Mr. Smooth. Fermin said, "Working with their data is an invaluable advantage." Imagine that, guys. Other riders have to crash dozens of times just to find the limit of the Ducati. But Fermin, he has a cheat sheet. He's seeing how Marc forces the bike to turn and how Alex maintains stability. The result? He immediately felt at one with the bike. Let's break it down technically. Why is the Marquez brothers' data so crucial for Aldeguer? Firstly, the corner entry. Aldeguer comes from Moto2 where you have to be very smooth, but MotoGP needs aggression. By looking at Marc's data, Fermin is learning when to torture the front tire without washing out. He's mimicking how Marc performs controlled slides to help the bike turn. Secondly, the reference point. At Gresini, the atmosphere is very open. Alex Marquez is a very technical and methodical rider. Fermin admits he's learned a lot about electronics management, how to regulate power delivery so the tire doesn't spin excessively. Thirdly, the mental shortcut. Fermin's strategy is to be a sponge. He knows Marc and Alex are under high tension to beat one another. In that state, riders usually put out 110% of their ability. Fermin just absorbs that extreme data to fast-track his adaptation. He is fast-tracking his career, guys. If Marc and Alex are too busy scrapping as rivals, they might not realize they are nurturing a monster in the same garage. Aldeguer learning from the data of two world champions is a genuine threat. If he can consistently break into the top 5 in his debut season, he will wreak havoc on the points race for both satellite and factory teams. Ducati now has a luxury problem. They have the legend, Marc, the challenger, Alex, and now the young genius, Fermin, who holds all his senior secrets. The 2026 landscape isn't just about who is fastest anymore. It's about who is smartest at processing the data. Final verdict, Fermin Aldeguer has pulled off the most tactical move in MotoGP rookie history. He isn't trying to be a hero on his own. He's standing on the shoulders of giants. Marc might say Alex is his rival, but Marc needs to be wary. Because the youngster sitting in the corner of the garage staring at his telemetry monitor might just be the one to overtake him on the final corner. Fermin already feels the bike is easy because he's learned how to handle it from the masters. Do you think Aldeguer can snag a podium in his first season, or will he buckle under the shadow of the Marquezes? Write down your thoughts. I'm out. Thanks for watching.